Okay, back with chapter 3 of Kateryna by Taras Shevchenko, the most famous Ukrainian poet. Again, one of my favorite books. It's beautiful. I love how it's written. I love how it's translated. The rhyme, the old styled language, and it sounds so good in English that I can't believe that it was not written in English originally. So the translation is obviously very good. So we'll start with chapter 3. Beautiful picture. The wood's asleep, the night owls hoot, the sky with stars is lit. An amaranth across the road, the timid gophers flit. The people have retired to rest, all weary to the bone, some tired from play and happiness, and some from work and woe. The night drew over all a sheet, the mother tends her brood, but where does Kateryna sleep, indoors or in the woods? Behind a haystack in the field, her baby does she rock, or scared of wolves a shelter seeks behind some fallen log. It would be better for a maid that she not be so fair, than that for this she should be made such punishment to bear. What fortune does the future hold? Alas, it will be bad. She'll meet with strangers on the road amid the yellow sands. She'll meet the winter's ice and snow. But him, will she meet, the one who Kateryna loves, and who his son will greet. If she were with him, all her ills, her woes would be forgot. He'd speak to her with tender words, and hold her to his heart. Well, we shall hear and we shall see, and I will rest a while. The road which leads to Muscovy, from people I'll inquire. Ah, brothers, it's a long, long road, alas, that road I know. My very heart is gripped with cold when I recall that road. One time I trod that road myself, would I'd not known that trail. About that journey I would tell, but who'd believe my tale? That so-and-so is telling lies, they'd say, not to my face. He's confusing people's minds with silly made-up tales. You're right, good people, you are right. Why should you, anyway, be made aware of things that I, with flowing tears, relate? What use is it? Each person has enough of his own griefs, so let's forget it, only pass tobacco to me, please. Also the flint, that, as they say, at home all should be right, for if you'd hear my shocking tale, you'd nightmares have at night. So to the devil with it all, while I had better map the route our Kateryna shall, with tiny Ivan tramp. I believe that part, the beginning of chapter 3, was from the words of Taras Shevchenko himself. Beyond the mighty Dnieper stream, beyond old Kiev town, a band of carters winds its way, their voices blend in song. Returning from a pilgrimage, perhaps a woman nears, a matron young, but why so sad? Why are her eyes in tears? Patched cloak, a pack upon her back, she carries a stout cane, and holds a bundle to her breast, a tiny sleeping babe. She came upon the caravan and covered up her child. Please tell me where to Moscow land, the highway I will find. To Muscovy, this is the way. It's not too far, my dear. Moscow, and for Jesus' sake, please help me get to there. She trembled as she took the coin. Oh, it was hard to take. Why should she beg? But there's the boy, her child she can't forsake. She wept, then onward went to rest. At Brovary she stopped, and for her son, for what she begged, a honey cake she bought. A long time Kateryna trudged, and ever asked the way. Full many nights beside a hedge she and her infant lay. Brovary is a town outside of Kiev, on the way east to Russia and Moscow. What use are eyes so beautiful, it's clear, beside a hedge with bitter tears to weep? So look and mend your ways, O maiden fair, that you some day should not be forced to seek some Muscovite, as Kateryna seeks, then do not ask why folks with anger speak, and do not let you in their house to sleep. O maidens, do not ask them why the people do not know, whom God has punished in this life, they also rush to stone. The people sway like willow shoots, are swayed by vagrant winds. The sun shines for the orphan too, but does not warm, just shines. The people would the sun erase and banish from the skies, that orphans be denied its rays to dry their streaming eyes. If they but could, and yet, good God, why such a thorny lot? What harm to people has she done? What do the people want? And she should suffer, oh my dear, don't, Kateryna, let the people see your tears. Hold fast e'en until death. And that your face should remain fair, and your beauty shouldn't fade. At sunrise in a wood your face in tears each morning bathe. Wash well with tears where none can see, so nobody can jeer. Your heart in this way will be eased, the ache flow out with tears. Thus trouble maidens comes a Muscovite, with Kateryna trifled then he went. Misfortune's blind, it sees not whom to blight, while people see, but they're on vengeance bent. A good-for-nothing let her die, they say, since she to guard her virtue didn't know. Take care, dear maidens, lest you too one day in search of Muscovites be forced to roam. Where's Kateryna now? She slept behind the road. Each morn at dawn she rose, to Muscovy kept pressing on. Then winter came with snow and blizzards sweeping across the fields, but she trudged on, poor soul, with shoes of bast upon her feet and in a shabby cloak. Thus doggedly she onward went, when stop, what's that she sees? They're Muscovites, they're marching men. Oh, Kateryna reeled, and then to meet the troop she flew. Good people, tell me, pray, is not my Ivan here with you? We know none such, said they. Then soldier fashion jeered and laughed at Kateryna's plight. Oh ho, you women know our lads, we fix the girls all right. Almost a Freudian slip there. She looked at them with scornful eye, and yet your men, you say. There, my baby, don't you cry, let come whatever may. I will not stop, I will go on, your father I will find. I'll give you to him, darling son, and I myself will die. A raging blizzard, bitter cold, the wind swept across the plain. She stood among the whirling snow and wept without restraint. Tired out at last, the howling storm gave way to fitful sighs. Our Kateryna'd cry some more, but her tears too ran dry. She looked long at her sleeping son, the wee face washed with tears, was pink and looked as in the morn a dew-wet rose appears. She looked then smiled down at the babe, it was a ghastly smile. About her heart it seemed a snake was writhing all the while. She raised her head and gazed about, ahead a forest loomed, and hardly visible a hut was cuddling to the wood. Let's go, my son, 'twill soon be night, perhaps they'll let us in, and if they don't, we'll sleep outside, a shelter from the wind. At least beside the hut we'll find for you, my darling child, where will you spend your nights when I am no longer alive? Outdoors with dogs, my sorry mite, without a bed or roof. The dogs are bad, the dogs will bite, the dogs can't talk with you. Can't tell you fairy tales or laugh, with dogs you'll scrounge for food. Oh, what misfortunes come to pass, whatever shall I do? An orphan, poor puppy, though fate is against him, but an orphan's word at which nobody jeers. They beat and berate him, they chain and enslave him, but they of his mother don't speak with a sneer. But Ivan, while he's yet a child, they will query, they'll taunt him before he's able to speak, who huddles 'neath hedges in tatters and hungry, At whom do the dogs all yap on the street? Who guides the blind beggar, the bastard poor creature, with nothing whatever except his fine features? And those the base people won't long let him keep. So that's chapter 3, and I'll read chapter 4 in a bit.